welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 341 and I have a finished object. I have the star Afghan. It's actually more of a lapgan. Yeah, it's big enough for your lap, but it's not huge. So here is what it looks like. Now, I did do a tutorial for this on Wednesday, so if you missed that tutorial, you can click the link right here and that will take you over to that. This is a 6-pointed star Afghan, but you can also make a 5-pointed star out of the same pattern. So that's what it looks like when you get started with it, and then it has the spokes that go out from there. So it was a lot of fun, but by the time I got to these last rows here, when I decided to stop, it took a long time to get all the way around it. So that's my finished object, and that is going to be for the craft fair. So then I have some works in progress. I actually have several works in progress. I just dropped a ball of yarn into the trash can. Just a minute. Okay, here we go. This is my cowl that I'm making out of the yarn Advent yarn that I did for Christmas in July. So here it is. I am on, there's 10 colors altogether, and I am on color number 7. So I really like this blue in here. It's like a denim, tonal denim blue. And this is looking gray. It's actually a gray with some green mixed in. You can see a little bit more of the green here. There you can see the green. It's kind of a grayish blue with little darker spots of charcoal, and these are actually green that are showing in. So that's how it kind of ties in with this green, and this green doesn't really go with it. This green actually would have been better up in here because it's a little closer in color, but there are little pops of green in this. So this is what the remaining ball of yarn looks like. I have the rest of color number 7, 8, 9, and 10 to go, and then I'll be finished. So I am hoping maybe this week to get that done. So that is work in progress number 1. Then I have, we'll go to the sweater, the Forever sweater. This is all I have left of the 3rd skein, so not much. I have 2 skeins left, and I have separated. I was knitting this all together. I didn't want seams. The pattern is meant to have a front and a back. I didn't want to have to seam it up and try to match the mesh when it gets up to this part with the yoke. So instead I did it as one piece, and I got to where the underarms would separate, and so I have the underarm section held on a stitch holder at this point. And here you can see where I was last week. I was just getting the mesh started. So this is the mesh that goes across at the bodice right in here. And I'll hold that up close so you can see it. And the sleeves are you just add some stitches. So I have a ways to go because this would be the underarm here. So this is the sleeve, and then this would, if this is the front, the front or the back are interchangeable with this because it has just a boat neck collar. It's basically a slash at the collar. So yeah, so this is either the front or the back, and so you can see these are the sleeves. They look like they're going to be kind of like cap sleeves, so if I find they're too short, I might either knit or crochet some edging to it just to make, I like them, you know, more like this. I don't want a sleeve up like this, so I might make it a little bit longer. We shall see. But yeah, this portion of the sleeve, like I said, this is the underarm, like right here. So I need to knit up to here where it'll be joined. So there is that section. And then now we'll get to the crochet. I have a Tunisian crochet dishcloth that I'm working on, and one of you had told me that they had watched TL Yarn Crafts, who said to do a single crochet, a couple rows of that before you start so it wouldn't curl. So I did that. I actually did 2 rows of single crochet, and then I did the Tunisian stitch, basic stitch, which is also known as the Afghan stitch. Now it is still curling slightly, as you can see, but not horrendously. So I have a few more rows to go with this. And like I said, it's just a dishcloth, so I'm not real picky about it curling or not, because once it gets wet, it's not going to curl. So I'm just replenishing my dishcloths because they were looking rough. So I've been fooling around with this. And then my last project is one I did not show or anything at all last week because I hadn't started it. And right now it is a giant granny square. I used up 1 whole skein of yarn, and let me go grab the yarn so I can tell you what it is I'm using. This is Brava worsted weight from Knit Picks, and it is teal, and there are 218 yards per skein, which is 100 grams, and like I said, it's a 4 weight. And it's 100% acrylic, premium acrylic. It is very soft. So what I am doing with this, I have a total of 3 skeins, so I've used 1 skein already, and it's just a giant granny square. I'm going to make a second granny square, or well, not a second granny square. I'm going to keep adding to this a little bit bigger. This is going to become a baby blanket, and then I am going to do some edging to it. So nothing fancy with this. I thought about doing another star Afghan for it, but I thought for a baby, you don't want all those little edges sticking out. You want to be able to put the baby in it and wrap them up. So yeah, so here it is, and more to come. You can see that's where I ran out of yarn. So we'll be getting started with that. So that's what I've been working on this week. What have you all been working on? Now we love seeing things in show and tell, and I do really appreciate those of you who send me pictures to post to show and tell. If you would like to have your project included, it does not have to be something that you just made. If it's a past project that you'd like to share, that's fine too. You can send that to KatrinasCreations@yahoo.com with a little picture and tell me a little bit about it. You can also contact me over at Facebook. You could post it directly on my Facebook page, which is Katrina Knits, or you can message me over on Facebook at Katrina Knits and put the picture there. Either of those, any of those will work, so that we can share and look at the projects that you have made as well. So one of the items that was in the show and tell segment was by Mary, and it was a dishcloth, and it's actually a dishcloth that I designed. It's called the mitered square dishcloth, I think, or mitered lace dishcloth, something to that effect. That is going to be Wednesday's tutorial. I am going to do a tutorial since I'm into making dishcloths right now. Yeah, I will be doing a tutorial for that. Now, some of you who are longtime viewers might be going, Katrina, you've already done a tutorial on that before. Yes, I have. But the last time I did a tutorial, it was with my old camera, and my old camera it really didn't autofocus really well for close-up pictures. So I'm going to be redoing that so that it will hopefully show up a little bit better and be a better tutorial all the way around, since I'm a little more experienced than when I did that how many years ago? 3 years ago? 4 years ago? So yeah, so that is Wednesday's video, will be a tutorial for that dishcloth. It is a free pattern over on Lovecrafts. If you look below in the description box under my patterns, you can click that link and that will take you to all of my knit and crochet patterns. There's some that are ones you need to purchase, but there's a lot of them that are free over there. The mitered dishcloth is a knitted pattern, so just to be aware of that if you are not a knitter. So that will be Wednesday's video. Now I have something funny I'm going to insert. Well, it's funny now. It was not funny when I did it. I made a colorwork sweater. In fact, I'm wearing a colorwork sweater right now. This is a flax light pattern. It's a free pattern from Tin Can Knits. The colorwork part of it is not part of the pattern. I just modified and created this as I went. I've been wearing this shirt a lot because it's linen and cotton. It's really soft and comfortable. But anyway, this was another colorwork sweater that was black and white. I'm going to insert a picture of it for you. Now, I think it was a Drops Knit pattern. It was a free pattern. I forget what the name of it was because I made it several years ago. I've only worn it once, I think, maybe twice. I made it and it was always too big in this area. It was always too big. And then I lost weight and now it was humongous here, there, and everywhere. And then in addition to that, when I initially knitted it, I decided I wanted it to not fit snugly at the hip, so I flared it out slightly, gave it a little A-line shape to it. I A-lined it just a tad too much and it kind of went, I looked a little ballerina-ish. You know, it kind of curved out a little too much. It kind of curled up. I looked like an elf when I wore it. So I decided that's not the look I was going for. So I didn't want to just donate the sweater because I really like the yarn. The yarn is some that I got from Hobium years ago. It is wool yarn. It's a wool acrylic mix, and it's extremely soft. It was cheap yarn, but it was really, really soft. So I actually, well, first I thought, if it's got wool in it, I wonder if I could shrink the sweater and then just unravel like up to where the A-line pixie looks started happening. If I could just unravel that part and knit it straighter. So I did try to shrink it and it didn't work. It did not shrink. The good news is it did not felt. So I was able to rip the entire sweater apart. So yes, this is what's left of the sweater. I have 6 balls of black yarn. And this is the white yarn that was the yoke. It was an Icelandic sweater, basic pattern. Yeah, it was very pretty. I'm hoping I can find what pattern it was that I used so I can redo it in a much smaller size. So I'm going to insert some footage of me ripping it to pieces for everyone's entertainment. okay. Like I said, it lived in the tub of shame for a couple of years, and I finally had enough nerve to go for it and to say, okay, we're going to rip it apart because I'm not wearing it. We'll fix it, and yeah, hopefully. So that is an upcoming project I'm going to get back into once I find that pattern again and decide what size I'm going to make it in. Now, in acquisitions, I want to say a special thank you to Jane. Jane sent me a retirement card, and this came from the UK. Look at the little house in the picture. It's what they call chocolate box house. It's very Cotswoldy looking with the thatched roof. I love these houses, they're really neat. So anyway, she sent me a retirement card, and it's got glitter and sparkles in it, because, you know, I like the glitter and sparkles. I won't read what's inside it, but thank you so much, Jane. Jane and I joke around with each other and call each other twins. She's my twin that lives across the pond because, like I said, she lives in the UK and here I am in the US, but we are both within a couple months of each other age-wise, and we got married within a couple months of each other as well at the same age. We've been married to the same person for the same amount of time. I think our anniversaries are close. They're within a couple months. We both have 2 children, and both kids are like around the same, or both of our children and her children are close to around this, within the ballpark of the same age. So, and there's more that we have in common than that, but those are some of the main things I remember. So yeah, she's my twin. But anyway, she sent me this really sweet retirement card, and she crocheted this for me, which looks like a tea bag, because she knows I like tea. And whatever this is that she made it out of, it's very soft. It feels alpaca-ish. But yeah, cute little tea bag. And it's got pink in it, because you know I like pink. And then the tag, or the tab of it, has my initial. So really, really sweet. So thank you for thinking of me, Jane. And I appreciate it, and I will be using it. So this has been my first week of retirement, which explains why I've gotten so much done over here. I'm loving life right now. It hasn't really clicked in that I'm retired, because right now I still feel like I'm on vacation or something. But I think I'll struggle to get used to it. I think I'll get used to it really, really quick. So I'm enjoying it. So now it's time for... Now in our Come and Get It section, we have Knit Picks, which is where I got the Brava yarn from. They are having 40% off of their tools. Now tools would be like your knitting, I think they're considering crochet hooks and knitting needles as tools. But it also includes some other tools. I'm not quite sure what. But anyway, it includes tools. 40% off of their tools and 20% off of Stroll brand yarn. That's their yarn of the month is Stroll. And Stroll has some pretty yarns. I think that's some that I showed last week in the magazine. I think, no, that was Swish maybe. Maybe that was Swish. I don't know. But they do carry Stroll. So 20% off of Stroll yarn. So that is Knit Picks. All of the links to all the sales are down below in the description box. The other ones we have are Lion brand. They are offering 30% off of their yarn and kits. You do need to use a coupon code BESTYARN2023 in order to get that deal. And again, that is Lion brand. Annie's. If you like chunky yarn, they are in their clearance section. They are running Premier Basics chunky yarn for $1.50 per skein. They also have Premier Basics softy yarn. They have some other too, but I know a lot of us crafters that make things for craft fairs and stuff use the bulky or chunky yarn because it crochets up faster. So that is Annie's. There's no coupon code needed. The discounts are already there. Lovecrafts has up to 75% off in their clearance section. And they also have, yeah, 75 on, I'm reading my notes here just to make sure that it's correct. I saw some items starting at $1.25 in their yarn clearance section. They also are running a special right now, 20% off of their British made yarns. So any of their British made yarns are currently 20% off. And then Mary Maxim is having a warehouse liquidation right now. It's 40 to 70% off. It's already been marked down, so you don't have to do a coupon code or anything like that to get the discount. So those are the ones that I know of for now, and I will let you know if I run across any other sales that are going on this next week. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you again for Wednesday's tutorial. Bye everybody.